So, the new Helldivers update has been out for quite some time, and I finally had a chance to play it, see all the new toys, new war bonds, and while preparing a video for the spooky season, I decided, fuck it, let's put something in between. So that's what I'm doing right now. Today, I'll take a quick peek at the new stuff, new difficulties, some changes I'm most excited about, and most importantly, the new toys they brought in. Now, a quick disclaimer at the start, this is not going to be an in-depth overview of everything that came with and after the Escalation of Freedom update. Like I said, I'm here to take a quick glance at the content, discuss the new buffs, and tell you if it's worth coming back given that this giant monolith of a man has taken over mine and most likely your feed as well. So, let's start performance-wise. Starting off, I was testing the game on the same machine as for my first review of this game, but for those who haven't watched it, it is equipped with an RTX 3060 GPU, Ryzen 5 3600 CPU, and 16 gigs of RAM. Specs will be at the top right corner and the performance in the top left corner. Performance-wise, the game still handles well on high graphical presets. I would say it might be a bit better than before, since while playing, even when the biggest hordes arrived on both automatons and Terminid sides, stuttering was minimal if non-existent at all. Even more good news, now there is a graphical preset for the Steam Deck, which I'm very excited about due to Helldivers being in the top 100 most played games on the deck, and let me tell you, the performance on it before wasn't all that great, I'm afraid. And with that out of the way, let's get elbow deep into the content. So, the content we got for this game, I gotta say I'm very much shocked, baffled, and most of all, pleasantly surprised. So let's take a look at it piece by piece. Let's start off with the two new war bonds, Freedom's Flame and Chemical Agent. Freedom's Flame introduced armor that finally gives us an ability to walk through the flames like the badasses that we are, and not dying in mere seconds after touching it. Now you can walk through the flame, you will still take damage, but testing it even with the light variant of the armor, you won't even drop down to half your HP. So we can finally use the flame stratagems with less risk to the user. Meaning, grab that flamethrower and spray and pray those bugs away. Along with the armor, we got a new shotgun called Cookout, and this thing hits like a truck. In all seriousness, I think this might be my new favorite primary. It burns enemies while every shot staggers them, meaning you can push the enemy back or stop them if they get too close for comfort while watching them burn to a crisp. Second toy we got was a flamethrower primary called the Flam 66 Torture, and I personally like it. I can finally carry a machine gun, which we still don't have as a primary but we should, and a flamethrower as a backup. And the third toy is a secondary weapon, which is, you guessed it, another smaller flamethrower, which is just that, a smaller flamethrower you can equip in a pinch if you're transporting something or running away and can't aim. And now, my little pyromaniacs, let's turn our attention to the second war bond, Chemical Agent. Now this war bond is what rustled my gym jams. We got a war bond whose whole theme is chemical warfare, and that smells like a war crime to me, not gonna lie. We got armor that has resistance to gas and its effects, which means just like the Freedom's Flame one, you can run through the gas with minimal risk to your HP. We got gas grenades, which somewhat blind enemies and deal damage over time. We got a stim pistol, which can heal your teammates from a distance, given that you don't miss. We got a new guard dog that now spews gas at enemies called Dog Breath, which, just like the other guard dogs, goes around you and spews gas at enemies and slowly kills them. And finally, the one weapon I was very excited about, the Sterilizer. A flamethrower looking gas spewer, it functions as a flamethrower, but it kills enemies slower due to the other effects the gas provides. Now, why did I say that this war bond rustled my gym jams? Because this war bond seems to be oriented towards supportive roles in a team. While running into an outpost with a breaker shotgun, killing everything in my path sounds and is fun, most of the time I enjoy throwing the gas orbital strike or the new fire barrage and just sit back and watch the fireworks from afar, picking off anything that survived with either an eruptor or a railgun depending how big the target is. And this war bond gave me just that, enjoyable support items to use. Also, before moving forward, I should mention that both Dog Breath Guard Dog and the Sterilizer are the first stratagems that cannot be accessed for free, meaning you have to buy the War Bond to have access to them. I don't like that. I think stratagems should be a part of the game that's always free and not locked behind a paywall, and I truly and sincerely hope this won't become the norm and stratagems will remain free for everyone. Also, with this War Bond, we got this in the store. Sliding away from the monetary side of Helldivers, what does Escalation of Freedom have in store for us? Quite a few new things. Dangerous things. First off, we got a new difficulty setting, which is Super Helldive. As a person who doesn't really go above difficulty 7 or 8, I tried both the Helldive difficulty and Super Helldive difficulty, and while Helldive just felt like the game was throwing everything it had at you, Super Helldive, to me at least, felt like chaos, but like organized chaos, with some extra modifiers to make the experience more challenging. The game literally throws every single big enemy it has at you, and I'm talking charger after charger after charger, and they introduced new enemy types on both Automaton and Terminate sides. Now, Terminates have 3 new types of chargers, each scarier and tougher than the last one. We also got a new enemy, the Impaler, which are giant tentacles coming out of the ground, and they always conveniently spawned right below me 90% of the times. And finally, we got a Brute Commander which can call upon its allies to help it in combat. And that's it for the Terminate side. Automaton's got a new tank, which can fire a rocket barrage, and if you plan on running, it will fire at you, and believe me, it has range. My request to storm a fortress has been granted given that there are now bigger outposts on both sides, but I find them most enjoyable on the Automaton side. Destroying it, you get an exclusive item you have to extract with for additional rewards which are lackluster to say the least. We got a few new spooky biomes which are just giant swamps, and it's fun playing at them, especially against the Terminids. And now, to the not so fun part of the game. Ever since my last review on this game, which was somewhere in July I believe, I have not touched this game. I wanted to return for the Escalation of Freedom when it was first gonna come out, because from what they showed in the trailers, I got my hopes up. And then I went on vacation when the update dropped and saw the internet up in arms about it. Nerf after nerf, where half of my Reddit notifications could be summed up with "I'm done with this game" or "Guess Weapon X is getting a nerf." Once I saw that, it killed any wish to return or even give it a chance. That was until I checked the Discord and saw talks of potential buffs being introduced. That got me intrigued quite a bit, so I waited and silently lurked around the Discord until they finally dropped all this. And after that, I was like, what the hell, and re-downloaded the game. For a few days now, while gathering footage for this very video, I played the game and had nothing but positive experience with it. And of course you can say, well, that's because you came after everything has gone to shit and is fixed now. And yeah, you're right. I feel for everyone who had to watch their favorite weapon get nerfed into the ground, and those who had to watch this once awesome game almost drown due to poor decisions from the devs. I get it, I understand. But for now, I feel like the game is going in the right direction. We are no longer underpowered, at least not as much as we used to be, and as chaotic as difficulty 10 is, I had fun playing it, even if the game tried its hardest to beat me to the ground. Hope the devs continue this positive momentum with more buffs and less nerfs, and that the community can once again unite not against Arrowhead, not against Sony, but against the real enemy of democracy. The man they call Joel. Stay safe out there.